In part two of episode 4 of The Grip Guys, Riccardo and I talk about the upcoming Arnold Armlifting Championships happening at the Arnold Classic in 2019. We are very excited about this, so keep an eye out on our website and our Instagram to see who is getting official invitations and how you can earn your spot on the big platform.
All right, Clay. So moving on to domestic.
So domestically, we have some things coming up. Are we ready to talk about a pretty big thing that we have coming up early part of next year yet? Maybe not give all the details, but a little bit of a teaser.
Sure. Let's do it.
After much poking, prodding, negotiating, and finagling, we've been able to manage to secure a spot on the concourse stage at the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio for next year's event. So we'll be doing. We don't have all the details locked down yet or how this is going to work, but Riccardo and I are going to work together to put together, we think, a silver bullet, a rolling thunder, and double overhand axle deadlift, the three main lifts for arm lifting on the stage in 3 consecutive days. And so by the end of the month, I think we'll have kind of an invitation list put together. Maybe we're not really sure who's going to be on that list yet. We want the best, and we want those who can be there, and we want those who are going to be great performers and those who are going to have a good time. I think anybody who goes to the Arnold has a pretty good time. If you've ever been to the Arnold Classic, it is insanity. It's 100,000 people on the weekend days. It's nut to butt. It takes you an hour to walk from the back of the convention hall to the stage. But the concourse stage is kind of one of those main funnels where everyone comes down from buying the tickets to go into the main doors, and they'll see you right there. You get exposure to 100,000 people over the weekend of Arnold. And your entry fee is going to cover the cost of going to Arnold all weekend for the expo itself, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, I'm super excited about this opportunity, Clay, and I think it's fantastic that we're literally taking arm lifting to the next level. And I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, there's no bigger stage for any sports, for any strength sports than the Arnold. There are more. I mean, you said it last time we talked. There are more sports happening at the Arnold Classic than there are at the Summer Olympics. For crying out loud.
It's insane.
So there's not any larger exposure for the sport than that. So we're really thankful to the Lawrence family for getting us onto the stage, and for the rest of the Arnold Classic people for making it happen. And now, even closer to home, closer to you in LA, we had a question we wanted to talk to our viewers about. Both of our viewers, if you're out there, mom, dad, pay attention. We have a question for you. Riccardo, maybe you can run down the situation of the Vice Grip Viking contest at the LA Fit Expo, how that's shaking out.
Yeah, so the Vice Grip Viking right now, we're just about to go live with it, but it's going to have kind of our stable events. It's going to have the double overhand axle, the rolling thunder, the silver bullet, and the Saxon bar on the wagon wheels. Those will be the 4 events on the Vice Grip Viking Challenge in the LA Fit Expo at the end of January. I think it's the 27th. It's on Sunday. And so a little change up this year. But the Rolling Thunder is getting a lot of interest right now, Clay. And I think, one debate would like to see is how many international people are willing to travel to make it the World Championships again. I think that's worthwhile. And viewers at home, if you'd like to compete, maybe you have a monster Rolling Thunder, then stop going to Starbucks, save your money, and show up in Los Angeles in January.
Let's stop talking about giving up coffee to buy more things, because that's not going to happen. Let's say literally anything else but coffee from Starbucks I can give up.
Okay, how about you wash your car instead of going to the car wash, or
I'll park outside. That's free. It's from God.
So God's washing your car for you. There it is, Clay. Your hand is done. You're ready to buy your ticket.
And so in years past, the Vice Grip Viking contest has always had the Rolling Thunder World Championships as part of it, and that's drawn out some big names internationally, and some of the biggest lifts ever on that handle have happened at the Vice Grip Viking in LA. Right. So the question I think this year is, do we want to continue to call it the World Championships and try to draw people out internationally and some of the best domestically, or let that title go to another big contest to happen in the U.S. somewhere? I think that's what we're kind of trying to figure out right now. Is that right?
Absolutely. Well said, Mr. Articulate, Edge and Clay. Yeah, no, I think that's it. And I think it's a really it's been a nice tradition so far. I know some people on the internet have already expressed interest in going. I know Roman Penkovsky certainly expressed interest. We know the Vice Grip Viking Owen Haugen will be in the house competing.
Is he still alive? How old is he? Like 300?
He's 368 actually.
Yeah. He's just like kick my ass in the Rolling Thunder, so I better watch what I'm saying.
That makes two of us. And the reality is he's in Vladivostok, Russia right now doing some Moz wrestling. Hard to believe, but that's where he is.
Both hips replaced, I think, within the last 3 years.
Yes.
Not last year, he had both hips replaced, and he's out there doing Moz wrestling at 68 years old. He's what the kids say is goals for me when I get older.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I mean, his training weights, would be lifetime achievements for me as far as some of his axle and rolling thunder on the thick bar. So obviously whatever he's doing is working, and he's extremely talented. And as you and I both know, extremely stubborn. So he refuses to pay attention to the calendar and the clock and all of that stuff. He refuses.
Yeah.
And it's working. So I think the LA contest, we're going to have the entry form coming live soon here on armliftingusa.com, as well as the rest of our calendar. Another thing, Clay, we can throw out there is for viewers at home who are thinking there's no contest near me. Well, run one. Why not run one? Yeah. And why don't you mention, Clay, what Iron Mind is willing to do for the people, even if they don't have all the equipment? What are they willing to help them with?
Yeah, it's quite an investment to get everything together, to get your grippers and your silver bullet and your rolling thunder, and you're in maybe $500. And what are you going to charge somebody? $20 to compete, maybe.
Right.
So Iron Mind has graciously offered to send you free of charge the equipment that you're looking to use for the contest. Like if you want to use a rolling thunder and you don't have one, in our entry form, you can request one from them, and they ship it to you. And then if you want, you can buy it for, I think it's like a 10% discount or something like that afterwards. I still don't know for sure. But you can buy the handle. It's already been shipped to you for a discounted amount, or you can ship it back to them so they can give it to somebody else. But it's a pretty cool service that Iron Mind offers when you're doing anything with these Armlifting USA sanctioned events. I know we talk a lot about the Rolling Thunder and the Axle and the Silver Bullet, because those are kind of like the staples in the sport of armlifting. But really, we can use any of these implements in your contest. So if you have a flask, if you have the Napalm's Nightmare, you want to use GHP grippers, you want to use the Suvorukov two-hand block, those are all great. I think you need to keep, I think it's two of the standardized armlifting events in your contest, and then you can do whatever you want for everything afterwards. That way we get some scores on the board to update our rankings. And update our rankings we just did. So I'll put those on the screen here in a little bit. We have a little bit of a shakeup in some of the top three in the divisions, but most of these guys are still at the top. If you want to see your name at the top of these rankings, put your name into the hat. I mean, let's host a contest. Go to a contest nearby. Check out the website to see where they're holding one. If you know somebody that has some grip stuff in their garage, and it's just you and a few other folks trading this stuff every week, put a sanctioning down, and let's get some official scores on the board for you. There's a pretty good chance you could end up competitive enough to wind up on a flight with us to Russia next year as part of Team USA.
You know what, Clay? Talk about a contest growing. I was just contacted late last night about a guy in Ohio named Mike. He wants to run a contest. So there's probably one coming to Ohio soon. We got one in Delaware that's coming up at the end of September. So, we got a Country Crush Challenge in California, their finals in December, LA Fit Expo in January. Delaware is going to host another one in the spring. We just looking for contests. I'd love to see people throw their name in. And like you said, the only way to find out how much you lift is to do it in a contest. Anyone can do it in the garage or in the gym. You got to go to a contest.
That's right. And we'll be doing California Strongest Hands again, but this time in Sacramento in February.
Great.
In Texas now, we'll probably be doing Texas Strongest Hands, or we'll find some funny way to say it. But there's guys like Tanner Merkel, Joe Musselwhite has a huge collection of stuff out here. Mark Henry lives in the same town I do, so I'm like scouring all the gyms looking for Mark Henry to see if I can drag him out to do some stuff with. So Mark, if you're one of our 2 viewers besides mom and dad who are watching, hit me up and let's talk about doing some grip stuff. I want to see if what the inch dumbbell looks like when it's thrown up to your shoulder like
Yeah.
he did at the ALDS Center years ago.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Hey, Clay, I have a question for you. Where in Sacramento is that California Strongest Hands going to be held? Do you have a location yet or no? Or
Yeah,
is
it's
that
going to
top
be
secret?
part of the, not top secret yet. I have the sanctioning in the works right now, but it's going to be at the Total Health and Fitness Expo at the Cal Expo Fairgrounds in Sacramento. And it's the weekend of February 9th and 10th. We'll do an amateur strongman contest on Saturday, and then on Sunday we'll do mouse wrestling and arm lifting. So I'll have all the events put up, the next couple of weeks once I get my computer unpacked. I can kind of settle down at home because I mean we're living in a temporary apartment and I don't have any of my stuff. So
Right.
like,
Yeah, that's an
we'll
added
make it work.
challenge. For sure.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but that's exciting because the first California Strongest Hands I think we had 19 or 20 people, yourself included.
Yeah.
And then this one we did in February this year, we had 30, 35 people. And Santa Cruz is a small town. Some folks drove a few hours. Some folks came from Sacramento to do it. So I'm excited to see what kind of crowd we can draw at the Expo in Sacramento in February for California Strongest Hands 2019.
Well, we had 20 people at the Occam Athletics Hands of Doom, and all of those people were begging me when are they going to have another chance to compete. And a bunch of them are now going to another contest we didn't mention in California, Clay, is the King Kong of Grip at the San Diego Fit Expo and the Vice Grip Viking on the 28th of October. So one more opportunity now, super far south of from where I am to compete. So many opportunities, but I know at least 5 of those people that were at Hands of Doom, 5 of those 20 are going to King Kong, which is fantastic. Awesome. Yeah, it's great.
And if your mom or dad watching the show right now, our mom or your dad, our 2 viewers I keep referring to, if you want to get a little bit stronger to learn how to get into these competitions and feel prepared, Riccardo and I both do distance programming through Instagram or through Fitbot. So hit us up on that. I'm happy to help with that, or just answer any questions you might have about training. We're always happy to do that. I've been competing in grip sport and in arm lifting since 2003, 2004. You've been doing it since 2012, right?
Grip, yeah, 2014 I think was the California Strongest Hands, but I've done also powerlifting, track and field, Highland Games since 1996. So
there's a certain way. There's training for fun, just going to the gym and being social and lifting weights. Then there's training for a sport, and it's very different because you take the elements of what you're learning in the gym and what to do, and then applying them in some kind of fashion that allows you to be in peak physical condition by the time the contest comes around. And that's what we both have experience in through a lot of trial and error, and some coaching from Ode and some coaching from other coaches in different sports. So
absolutely,
it's a lot of experience to bring your way.
Yeah, I mean, I would say between the 2 of us, we've competed in some kind of strength sports well over 100 times between the 2 of us, for sure.
I think I'm up to 76 or 77 contests now.
Yeah, I don't have an exact count, but I know I've done at least 50 powerlifting meets, and I think this was my 15th grip contest that I just did. Okay. So I would not be, and I've done 2 Highland Games, 1, 2, 3 strongman contests. So I'm probably closing in on 70 myself if I'm not already there. So yeah.
So what we're trying to say is, if you hang around with people like us, you're going to waste a lot of money doing these niche sports, but we're happy to help.
Or
our wives are not always pleased with all that.
Or if you were going to take the glasses half full approach, Clay, they might even meet or exceed their goals.
Right, that's true. And if you do, even better still, you could be, like I said before, on a plane with us to Russia next year in May for the Armlifting World Championships.
Clay, why don't you recap a little more about the rankings real quick for people who may have missed an episode or 2 where the rankings were unveiled? Why don't you recap that a little bit?
Cool. So we took all the APL weight classes that we use in Armlifting USA, and we've assembled all the results from all the Armlifting USA sanctioned events and separated all the competitors, giving them rankings. So we take the best rolling thunder, the best axle deadlift, and the best silver bullet performance, list them all, rank them all. We use a percentage-based scoring system. So if I lift 90 kilos and you lift 80 kilos, you're going to get whatever percentage 80 is of 90. I can't do the math in my head, but it's some number between 1 and 100, whatever that is. We put those rankings together on a Google sheet, share it up on the Armlifting USA page, and during our episodes here, we put up a little image, and I'll bring it up with the magic of editing. Here it is. Dun, dun, dun. There's going to be an insert there with the rankings, I'm sure, if I can figure out how to do it. Otherwise, it's going to look really awkward with the rankings for the top three in each of those weight classes. And why it's important is those top three at the end of the calendar year will get invitations to join us on that plane to Russia next year. So come to a contest, get your Armlifting USA membership, do some of these standardized events, even if you don't practice them very much. Just come get a score on the board, try to get one of those top three spots, and then we could see you internationally with us.
Well, and I think the key to that is, and we already mentioned it once, but it's to go to a contest. It's fun to go to a contest because you meet new people, you make memories, you experience stuff you've never done, and you push yourself possibly to a new level. And I think for me, that's a lot of the fun of it is pushing myself to another place I haven't been before while hanging around with like-minded people. And I think most of the arm lifting people are extremely supportive. You and I both know this. We hear other people, even our competitors, cheering for us when we go to lift. And that's what it's all about. It's pushing yourself to some place you've never been.
Yeah, it's a cool community, and it's not a sport that's big enough to be divisive. And everyone's kind of like, oh, you're into grabbing weird block weights too with your hands. We should be buddies and hang out. Let's go to my garage, or let's go to the YMCA, or go to my basement. It's not weird, I promise. Yeah. You got to figure out life around that mess.
Yeah, no, I think, you know what, the sport is growing, and I know you take a lot of pride in this, but I know you really want to assemble a fantastic team to represent the red, white, and blue when we go there next year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun and a great life experience, and I'd love to find a way to share that with other people who are interested in having that experience as well.
Yeah. So the other thing I think is if people are put off or a little intimidated by this, they can look on our Armlifting USA website, not only at the rankings, but at some of the individual results of the contests. We have the APL results up there. You can see what the numbers people lift are. There's no hiding. It's all on video. It's all on the spreadsheets, the result sheets. You can see the results, and as you know, Clay, the scale doesn't lie. Whatever the weights they are, they are. And I think there's a lot of people that shortchange their potential, and they don't go to the contest, and then they never find out what they can do.
Right. That's a good point. Well, anything else you want to add on the 4th episode of the Grip Guys, or should we call it a night and go get some training in?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think why don't you direct them to the website for more information where they can see the old podcasts as well?
That's great. Go to thegripguys.net or gripguys.net, and we have our upcoming events, our upcoming episodes, our past episodes, and then a little information about Riccardo and I. You can also go to @gripguys on Instagram, and we have a Facebook page as well. Once I get everything unpacked from the moving truck, I'll be updating that a lot more frequently. But for now, I'm surprisingly busy for being this unemployed. But I'll work on it, I promise.
All right, Clay. Well, a great job. I'm looking forward to seeing you put up some big lifts as soon as you get settled in Texas, maybe in your actual permanent house. Yeah, and I think pretty soon, I think the Grip Guys are going to start inviting some people on. So if you're interested maybe in being a guest on our show, drop me or Clay a note and let us know.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear from you. It doesn't matter how experienced you are, if you're just getting into the sport, or if you set some records, or if you're coaching people in arm lifting and grip sport. If you have some products you want to talk to us about on the show and kind of promote yourself, hit us up. Let's make this interesting. Let's have fun doing it.
Absolutely.
All right, Riccardo, we'll see you next week, sir.
Yes.
Take care. Train hard.
Yeah. Have a great day.